think that we're live right now. Uh, you know, I told myself that I would never do this because the idea of live streaming makes my skin crawl, but I will admit that OBS does have better quality than what I was using before. Anyway, hello! If you guys are watching this and my audio isn't completely messed up, welcome to a painting stream. So we're going to be finishing up the highlights, the Brass Night Vexler, I believe is the official name. I don't know. Age of Sigmar names are just word soup. And then our Icy Killaboss on foot, which we did in the same style as our Ice Grots with this azure skin tone. So I'm going to take 1 sec here to change the thumbnail on the stream and make sure everything is up and running. Okay, well, pretty sure everything is working now. God, who knows? This is why I hate streaming. I just don't want to deal with, like, automatically generated that. Okay. I'll be stream. Okay. And all I can do is just hope that everything is working properly. Settings look good. I don't know. Well, let's just go ahead and get started. Now, I want to start out with the Killaboss here. I'm going to move things around real fast. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the flat green here. Now, those of you who've been watching the channel for a while will remember that one of my biggest gripes with the Cruel Boys as a faction is that they just have way too much detail. Like, severed heads and armor plates and folds and faces and all this stuff. We want to remove as much of that as possible because it just ends up becoming cluttered. So I'm going to use flat green on all of these green areas and sort of just tie everything together, keep it nice and simple. Do have the stab grot as well. Then we're going to move into doing white on the weapon here to get them started, and then eventually we're going to do orange for them. And then we're going to come back and do cork brown for the ropes here. Let's just go ahead and get started, like I said. There we go. Do I want a smaller brush? Yeah, probably not. I'm going to go kind of fast. Just have to move that out of the way entirely. That needs water. Oh, I'm getting warning lights, something stream health. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't even want to be streaming. All I want to be doing is just get enough hours to the point that I can actually monetize my channel without having to make some kind of stupid rage bait. But that's the only way you can actually get your channel monetized these days. Do something to piss people off. The Long Dark video did pretty well, which is good. Still nowhere near enough, though. I'd rather just be recording this. And this brush sucks. I have to replace this. I'm going to try to leave at least a little bit of that blue undertone. Okay. Ugh, what now? What warning light am I getting now? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? I'm just trying anything in hopes of monetizing the channel. I don't even want to be streaming. Fix that later. Oh well. I didn't want to have to grab it in case the one that I have runs out of juice, but don't have much of a choice. I can't see. I know that you guys can't see if I can't. There we go. Oof. God, this brush sucks. My first time using this Army Painter brush. I don't really use Army Painter brushes all that much. Maybe ever. Okay. Missed some stuff back here. Well, I keep getting the same notification that something's wrong with the stream. Maybe it is. I don't care. I don't even want to be streaming this. But I have a feeling it's going to somehow get more views. It says stream. You gotta make stuff approachable. I don't know. Whatever. Just want to be able to actually monetize my channel. So I'll try whatever. It's always weird being in that position of like, oh, that's his tooth. That doesn't need to be green. It's always weird being in the position of being at a disadvantage because you don't just want to generate crap. Throw together some garbage in Creo.ai. We'll see how YouTube does in a couple of years when that's the only thing that's left. There's no actual content on the platform anymore. I guess there are some live streamers, but even then, half the time all they do is comment on drama. People who are becoming increasingly irrelevant. Oh well, this is a hobby stream. Don't talk about YouTube. Let's talk about the miniature. Excited to have these guys done. I'm excited for this guy in this Azure to finally be able to join the army. He can lead the Ice Grots. There we go. Got a few more spots to take care of. Right there. Ooh, covered up all the blue. More than I wanted, but oh well. A spot there. A small spot. Like that. I think that's everything. Touch up some of that Azure. I don't know. Is it worth it to actually... That cork brown seems to stand out all on its own. Is it even worth it? Yeah, I'll touch a couple of spots. Move this down a bit. Oh, now it's just... Now it can't focus. Okay. All right. Wait. Can it? Can it? Can it focus? Can you do it? Can it? Nope. Okay, so got to pull it back out. Great. Great. than that for the cork brown. How's my little man doing here? I think he could use a few more touches. No, let's leave that. Alright. While I've got him out, go ahead and use this flat green here while it's still wet. Still getting that same message, something, something, the stream is something, something. Oh well. Can you focus on it, please? No? Okay. Well, it looks good. Wish you could actually see it closer, but still. It does look good. Really good. God, That green looks so creepy and plant-like. Oh, I absolutely love it. My cork brown's perfect. Not too overwhelming. No, that's probably not the word. All right, those are the only two colors I really, really felt like these guys needed right now. I might do a little bit of black red on the. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just do a touch, just a touch of black red on the weapon handle. God, this brush sucks. Man, Army Painter. Good so far. Use white to start out the weapons. Like I said, eventually we're going to be doing this in orange and then do some white trim on top of that, but in order to get this really, really bright, I'm going to start out with white as like a base tone, base coat, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, gotta get the back. Okay. There we go. Looking good. And let's get the Stab Grot's little knife right here. Turned out a little bit thinner than I wanted, but it's okay. It's going to be about only like 2 more layers of paint on top of this. Ooh, I left a little nub on the back of his knife. Far from the end of the world. Far from the end of the world. Okay. That's done. And that, which will also be orange. Now, we'll leave those guys to dry for a little bit. All that's left on these guys really are, we need to do black for the eyes. Make sure I missed everything. Oh, shoot. You know what? I should go ahead and do the white highlights on the actual, I need a brush. That brush sucks. Go ahead and do the white highlights on the shield. Maybe I won't get that done while I have the white out. And this one's going to need to be really careful. on, focus up. Come on. Whatever. I can't believe I almost had a cup of coffee before this. My hands would be shaking even worse. These we will not be doing in orange. We're just going to leave this white. I don't think it needs much else. Starting to dry out, starting to dry out. Gotta rush, gotta rush. This is probably the last point when you ever want to be rushing a paint job. There we go. Alright, and to make sure these look nice and sharp, I'm going to leave just a little bit of that tip showing on these spikes. Kind of gives them a Willy Wonka feel. I dig that. For Cruel Boys especially, because they're the orc faction that just absolutely takes itself way too goddamn seriously. As does most of Age of Sigmar. Just the worst possible thing. I mean, come on, Games Workshop. The reason I like Age of Sigmar is because it's about crazed lightning demons who, you know, there we go. Okay, I think I discovered how to manually change the focus. Ah, sorry, brush in my mouth. There we go. Okay. We should figure that out before I started doing the details, but oh well. Life goes on. Man, here's looking good. Any other details we need? Touch up a couple areas of the azure. To blacken the eyes, the dry brushes around his feet, the base. That's really it. Another face on the shoulder. I almost forgot. Still have this one. There we go. Do I want to try doing his toenails? No, not really. Shut up. Tired of getting that same notification. Whatever. Anything else I'm going to touch up? I don't think so. Just going to touch the tips of these teeth. There we go. It's adorable. All right. Those guys are pretty much set right now. So now we move on to our brass Night Vexillor, I think is what he's called, something like that. Here we go. Start with the armor. Swap that out because I'm not missing anything right now. Please note, I did not add any water to this paint. And yet, still half the time, this brush deforms once it's got paint on it. It loses its point. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. At least a little bit of that blue in there. Oh, God, this brush sucks. Just deforms instantly. There we go. It's a little better. Does the flacked sections fine. But man, this is terrible detail brush. Awful. Damn it. God, this brush is awful. But I just had to throw out my other one because it was... can't hold the point to save its life. I had to throw out my other one, and I don't want to start destroying my double zeros. I do have plenty of them, though, so maybe I'll have to at some point. Plus, I've had this brush for a while, and I've never actually used it on anything. Now I remember why. It is good for armor panels, I'll give it that. Maybe I'll use it when doing Space Marines again. Not again. I don't think we've done... yeah, we still haven't done Space Marines on the channel. I've had a couple people come in and out, but I have not checked the chat log once. Probably should do that at some point. Alright. Looking good, my man. Yeah, I gotta break out this super detailed brush for the helmet. There's no way I'm doing that. Probably gonna have to touch the helmet out when I'm doing the banner, but oh well. And there we go. I think that our brass knight is successfully brassed. Yeah, good enough. Well, I think I'll go back to the cork brown. Go ahead and touch up that pauldron and the knee, the lions. Get them touched up. Once again, I want to leave quite a bit of that blue. This is just full of water. Hate when that happens. Well, that's one thing this brush is good for. It just absorbs water like crazy. That's why I can't hold shade. There we go. Wouldn't normally glob this on like this, but in this case I'm going to do some further highlights of flat flesh. So I do actually want the cork brown to be pretty thick, because it's not going to be the only thing on our lion friend here. Give him the color. Looking good. Now let's get that knee. There we go. Looking good. Okay. Oh, and this little thing on the other pauldron. I also wanted to get this little Sigmar sigil here. Cork brown. A little sloppy, but it's all right. There we go. Okay. We're not that quite yet. Oh, these little tabs. Let me get them too. Okay. Where do we go from here? Let's do the black red next. Just need this for a couple small details. belt. I'm not gonna do the belt buckle quite yet because I want to wait for that black red to dry. In fact, actually, I should touch this belt with it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Alright, change the bit rate. Hopefully that stops that stupid message from showing up constantly. Alright. Let's see how this does. CPU is fine. Fortunately, my CPU is like one of the few parts of my PC that's actually objectively great. Well, we're figuring this out as we go along. Let's go back. Let's touch up that purple. Royal purple, I believe, is what we used for doing this last time. Use plenty of water this time. Alright, stream quality is excellent now, in theory, according to OBS, so people come in next time, hopefully the quality won't be crap. Not that I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'd rather just be recording this and putting it up. A lot of little white dots here where they're either the coverage wasn't good or I tapped the paint with my finger while it was still wet. Probably some combination of both, honestly. But quick layer of purple should fix that right up. To work on in the meantime. We'll start on the cloak, I guess. And where's that other brush? Yeah, this thing. It's the brush I normally use, but it is split and it's not going back into shape. But I can use it for small dry brushing. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to start with some azure for this cloak. As well as touching up the Killaboss, more than likely. It's going to need it. Yeah, that's never going back into shape. Oh well. Have a little more on there. Backside should be a little easier without all that stuff over it. Have to fix that later. Okay. God, this thing just will not hold shape. While I have the Azure out, go ahead and touch up some of these areas. Hadn't intended on touching up his skin this much, but it does look good. Let's go ahead and just do it. No, I'm not gonna get the stuff behind the shield. I think that can just be as is. I can get his feet though. Looking good. That should do. quick break. Alright, and we're back. Ah, one viewer, you have good timing. Okay. Now I think I want to switch over to the flat red or dark vermilion. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the red highlights on here. Get Sigmar himself painted up. Got it. For the twin-tailed comet. Knew I shouldn't have been playing as Volkmar before this. I always end up talking like a crazy priest. I just love his voice lines. Oh yeah, I can already tell this is going to end well. I'm going to build with this, continue with some orange, and then on the back I still want to build and use green and purple, which is a weird combination and is going to be a weird combination, but I'm going to do it because I really want to test out the color scheme I'm going to be using on those dark angels soon. Unfortunately for this, I chose a color I have just a ton of. Ooh. I might end up wanting to put a wash in these recesses, just so it's not like all the same color across the ripples. Do I want to do another wash of purple, or do I want to use black? Oh, doing deeper purple would be consistent but kind of boring. Black would be a more intense shadow, but also not using black like anywhere else on the model. Then again, the banner is where I want to be drawing attention, but is it going to be in the shadows, though? I'll probably end up just going with the purple, maybe even a blue. But that wouldn't really separate it from the model. But how separate do I want the banner to feel from the model? Do I want it to feel like all one consistent paint scheme, or do I want to have those individual sections that feel all their own? I think all their own, in which case the purple wash would be better. Make the banner feel otherworldly compared to the model itself. And there we go. Well, at least the stream health is still good. I'm not getting any frantic messages from YouTube. Excellent. Oh, that looks great so far. All right, let's keep going. Well, that banner I want to be white. Let's get Sigmar himself. Excellent. Oh, that looks so good so far. Definitely gonna need to add some kind of a wash into these ripples, but then again, I do want Sigmar himself to stand out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, I am very happy with this so far. Very happy with this so far. What do I want to do for the outside? Not sure yet. Well, let's just start with what I do know that I want to do. So I'm going to grab the white next. Cannot afford to make mistakes on this one. Well, it's not really true, but I would prefer not to make mistakes. Okay. There we go. Very creepy. I love that. Let's get this banner next. I was worried I wouldn't have enough to paint to fill out the length of a stream, but man, I forgot how detailed this banner was. It's going to take half the time all on its own, which I'm fine with. I enjoy this kind of work. I hope that while you have this on, you're getting your own painting done, working through your own pile of shame. I see it. I see that pile of shame. Oof, that is rough. Sigma. a bit rough. That's all right. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Perfect. That's coming together quite well. Now. Where do we want to go from here? I'm not quite sure. Definitely want to do something with the outside of the trim here. And I don't even want to start at the other side because I know that my fingers are going to end up pressed against it and destroy that paint job. While I have the white, let's go ahead and start the sword. Still got a long way to go here, so I'm not worried. quite yet. Oh. Like I said, still got a few layers to put on this, so not worried quite yet about how bad that looks. Okay. Backside, that'll do. That'll do just fine. Okay. Okay. Let's get, well, before I do the white, I actually need to brush this with a few other colors. Check something real fast. I need two more colors to do these, to do this cloth. Those are going to be London Gray. Ooh, that's still got a lot of white in it. Oh god, I almost did 2 hours. Oh god. Alright. It's turning into a hobby marathon. Did not intend for it to last that long, but oh well. Alright. Still got so much water in it. want this London Grey to be super visible on the cloak. I just want to get it introduced, you know? Just add that little bit of extra, I don't know, something. I can't describe it better than that. I don't want London Grey to be a color that the viewer sees when they look at this model. I just want it introduced. You can see it just a bit, just a bit, just a bit. That's perfect. Okay. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but with emerald. Oh, that's blue-green. Here's emerald. Way too much. Oh well. Not the end of the world. Okay. Like I said, don't want it showing up. We just want it introduced. We just want it to have a little presence. Model. It's going to help to add a richness, a complexity. Just these odd little colors that you don't quite pick up. That's going to break up the blue. Keep it from being too monotonous, because when you have just like light blue and royal blue, it's really well, monotonous is probably still the best way of putting it. Okay. Good. We've got that complexity. Now for white. Is it still? Yep. Okay. Ooh. Really get that dry. Okay. Oops, whack the camera. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, the white, we do want to have some presence. There's still a lot of emerald on this brush. Rinse that out quite a bit. Just a little too much water in this brush. Slowly got to build that up. Painstaking, but worth it in the long run. Just gotta keep slowly building up those layers. Just slowly, slowly, slowly. Just a little bit more. I feel like I've been wasting paint this entire time. I always pour out way more than I need. No, actually I do need quite a bit of white. Never mind. This is like the one time I actually need more. There we go. There we go. Now it's coming together. Perfect. Go. I swear I'm trying to stay on camera. There we go. All right. Let's start fixing some of this stuff. Actually, I should get a little bit more azure, because I do want to have just a tiny bit inside of the actual cloak. I feel like this area right by his leg should have just a bit. On the fold there. Inside. No white necessary. That'll do. Oh yeah. That's coming together. That's coming together very well. Okay. Now, the real question is what I want to do with this banner. What color to use? Oh, I know on the back side I want to use the greens. I'm going to use intermediate and flat green on that. So what do I use in the front? Wait. Ah, welcome back, Matt. I just checked the stream. Just checked the chat. I'll put that over somewhere. There we go. Okay. Now what do I want to do? Maybe I just want to leave the outsides. Just keep building in the orange in the center. Yeah. Well, I guess to start out, let's just start out with the stuff that I know I want to do. And the first thing I want to do is correct that black-red that I got all over the place. Or the black-red that's supposed to be down here. So let's correct this. Okay. Alright, corrected all that white that I got down there. Oh, wait. He is all done. See if I can fit him in the screen. Ah! Yeah, video on him should be coming out this weekend, but he's all finished being painted now. Haven't got any pictures out, though, but I usually save that anyway. Yeah, should be out this weekend. He is mighty. Absolutely. Looks fearsome. I'm glad the emerald on his backside turned out as well as it did. Okay. What do I want to do around the outside here? That's the real question. You know what? Let's just go with the flat... No, flat green? I don't know if I want to do that. What else can I use? Yeah, you know what? Let's just see how the flat green looks on the other side, because I know that I want to use the flat green there. And we'll just see how this goes. Okay. Alright. I'll say I may use this on the other side if it looks especially good. I have a feeling that it won't, but I really need to test this color combination before we do the Dark Angels. No, so am I. Oh, thank God. How's your pile of shame coming, bud? No, let's leave that for... yeah, I'm gonna get this. Well, slow progress is progress. Just gotta take it one day at a time. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm still working on this Dominion box after... I don't even know how long it's been now. Well, Dominion collection of
random Cruel Boys and Stormcast models I ordered on eBay.
All right, that looks pretty good so far. That's pretty good. All right.
Yeah, let's do this here. Dang, I can see where I was doing the azure earlier. Oh no, there's green everywhere. Oh well, it's easy to fix.
Yeah, I think there's 4 units of Space Marines that came in that combat patrol box. We still got to get done. So I've got quite a bit. Got like a lot of stuff to paint. I've also got one other thing. I've got a couple of models that a friend loaned to me from this board game Trial by Trolley, which is made by the guys who did. I don't have them nearby. Made by the guys who did. What is it called? Cyanide and Happiness. Those guys had a board game, and the Kickstarter backers, which one of my friend was, had some exclusive miniatures in them. So he loaned them to me, and I'm going to paint those on the channel. But I think I'm going to do the Space Marines first because I need to build up my viewership fast, preferably. And you know, not having painted Space Marines yet on the channel is a pretty glaringly obvious thing to have missed in terms of building up an audience on a miniature painting channel. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to end up using the bits for. I mean, I'm not sure what torsos I could actually put them on. I'll have to see.
A little bit more here. Okay, purple and green's working out and doesn't look as Barney as I was worried it would. Okay.
I do like greenskins. I would love to paint some more orcs. We'll just have to see. I can't really, if I'm being honest, I can't really afford to buy more miniatures right now. That combat patrol itself was already like $125. I cannot afford that. Obviously, I still have all the Cruel Boys to paint though, but they're like the least popular orcs. I think last time I actually put some a photo of them up on a, was it the orcs subreddit? And it's I think the most common comment I got was, "These aren't even orcs," which technically they are, but I mean, at that point, why even post them? So that kind of sucks, especially when they look so good. Like that Killaboss looked so good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So it's kind of sad that orc players aren't really appreciative of it. Well, I haven't really shown them that one yet, so we'll see. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of green in here, but I don't think I'm going to use it for the rest of that. Yeah, the AOS An AOS 40k crossover does have to happen on the channel at some point. That, definitely agree. Okay, what's next for him? What's next for him? You know, I think I'm just going to go for straight up royal blue for those edges. Because I want something that's going to allow the red to pop. And I'm worried that a green would look a little Christmassy. They do. Yeah, his mount is straight up a warg. Like, I refuse to call it a Nash Tooth or whatever it's supposed to be. They are straight up just a warg. Very, very Lord of the Rings. I actually do really like a lot of the new Lord of the Rings stuff they're putting out now, too. I just saw the new, what was it? Oh, I forget what I saw recently. There's been so many new releases. Yeah, I know they make I forget the actual, I want to say Battle for Middle Earth, but I know that's the RTS game. Yeah, a lot of the new minis look really, really good. I forget the actual name of the Lord of the Rings board game they make is called. But yeah, I almost think that the Nash Tooth, whatever, straight up is just like a unused orc asset they had lying around. Or just took some light inspiration from something they already had lying around, which is fine. I'm not even mad about it. It's unique and it's interesting, but I don't know. Lightly disappointing, I guess I would say. It could have been more unique. Yeah, I mean, how much of 40k is just straight taken out of 90s action movies? Alien, Predator. There's more. Tyranids are straight up just Terminators. Not Tyranids, Necrons. They're straight up just Terminators. And a lot of those factions have since become more interesting, but yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Again, though, not that that's a bad thing necessarily, as long as, like, a Dune, yeah. Again, not that it's necessarily a bad thing, as long as, like, they're able to work on it and eventually do something interesting, you know. There's the old Hollywood rule. Audiences want 80% familiar and, 20%? No, and 20% different. Is the rule you want to go by when you're introducing a new, like, franchise or something. So it makes sense. Hard to be mad about it at that point. But the Nashtiv does look cool. He just doesn't look like an orc mount. That's the main thing. The Cruel Boys just never looked like... I feel like Games Workshop, when they were designing the Cruel Boys, like, it's cool. Like, they are a cool faction if you can paint them correctly. And honestly, I do think my paint job is better than Games Workshop's. But at the same time, it's like the whole point of
Necromunda's on the list. Someday. I feel like Games Workshop didn't quite, when they were doing the Cruel Boys, didn't seem to understand that, like, the thing that 40k orcs that makes them so cool is that they ride around in, like, Looney Tunes contraptions, you know. And Cruel Boys are just so over-designed that it almost makes them lack personality. It just kind of sucks. Yeah, some of the new Necromunda stuff has looked pretty cool. I haven't always liked it. I've found a lot of Necromunda stuff to be kind of over-designed too. But some of the new stuff looks cool. I've had a lot of releases though, so I don't know the names of anything. There's been so many releases over the summer.
Okay. I think the blue's working out so far. I think the last step is really just going to be doing some highlights of yellow and orange for their Sigmar's face and for these flames. I think that's going to be the last thing. Probably should touch up some more of that purple too.
Ooh, that was way too much paint. Oh well.
There we go.
Always find something to fix.
Right. Wouldn't be a new Memphis project unless we broke out the clear orange.
I'm just gonna put a dot at the bends. And these flames. Oh yeah, that's coming together. That's definitely coming together. You know, I've I have most of my interactions seeing the new Blood Angels minis has been people complaining that the Stormcast look cooler, which is hilarious. I don't think totally true. I think they look cool. I'm not really up on the lore, so I always feel a little under-equipped when talking about 40k minis, but I think they look cool. That's what's he called? Sanguinarian, something like that. I'm so bad with names. I don't even know the name of the guy I'm painting now. Yeah, with the there's probably a term for them. The paper is coming out of him that's like supporting the actual model. That looks cool as hell. Cool as hell. Yeah, there's I don't know. I feel like I've seen a considerable amount of salt on Reddit. Not that there's not always a considerable amount of salt on Reddit about the Sigmarites looking cooler. Let that dry for a sec. I'm gonna do orange for the centerpiece. Well, you know what? Let's do this with orange. Favorite Kamazar? Oh, did they end times your favorite character? Yeah, GW has not been making great lore decisions the last couple of years. Oh, Commissar, yeah, the guy with the power claw. Oh, I do know him. It's power claw, right? They killed him off screen? That's crap. Oh, that sucks.
and they just put on all that effort to make the cartoon about him for Warhammer Plus. What in the world? Why? And they just to kill him off screen? That's bullshit.
Oh, GW. Oh, GW. God. They just... Oh. Alright. That... Oh, questionable decisions upon questionable decisions. I think for the outside of this one, we're going to go with red. Oh, man. Not even like a big 40k fan, but man, that's bullshit. That's one of the few 40k characters I do know. I love that story. Oh, that's such bullshit. Off screen. Oh. Oh, I'm glad it's not just End Times. And all of GW's products are just not doing hot right now. Oh. I will say, though, along that vein, it is somewhat interesting that my favorite models that I've seen, like there've been a lot of good models. My favorite models have been the Warhammer Old World stuff. Just Games Workshop, going back to roots, making what they're good at. That stuff has been the best stuff they've made. I really do think it's the best. Like the new the Empire Stronghold terrain pieces, very, very cool. Love it. And the new Bretonnia model, well, they're not new now, but the Bretonnia models are absolutely badass. I don't know that much about Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is the one thing that has like flown under my radar, so I don't know really what that is. I know Necromunda, weirdly, but not so much about Rogue Trader. There's too many things to keep track of in Warhammer. Too many properties. I mean, all of 40k is kind of taking fantasy to space, but I see what you mean. Alright. I'll have to check out the models on that at some point. I have not seen them. I tend to see a lot more... Maybe it's just the way my Instagram feed is set up. But I tend to see a lot more of the fantasy stuff get recommended to me. Probably why I saw the Empire Stronghold before anything else. But I'll put it on my list of stuff to check out. Surprised they didn't go full purge the Xenos at that point. Did they retcon him recently, or is that like something that happened like years ago? Oh, that sucks. Once again, they can't stop. They just can't stop fucking up. I mean, I know that there always is with 40k lore. Damn it!
Immediately screwed that up. Oh, I see. Okay.
What's even the point at that point of keeping the name or using the name for somebody else? All right, well, whatever. I know the whole point of 40k is like, you know, all the lore is like half shrouded in mystery and oh, did it really happen? You know, as like a justification to retcon at any time, but.
Oh, so it really was just like fantasy in space.
Just they're just straight up like dudes in armor. There we go. Interesting. It'll get on the list with the 6 other different Warhammer things I still need to check out. I'm so behind. I will say I'm vastly more confident now going into the Space Marines that having those purple undertones will keep the red and green from looking Christmassy.
And even the orange highlight still works with it. Isn't Judge?
Oh yeah, of course Judge Dredd would be in there too. What 90s franchise isn't gonna end up in 40k at some point? Why not? Why not have Judge Dredd in there? Didn't they originally make Judge Dredd models, or was that like
Rogue Trader was like? Was it a Rogue Trader model that was like
pretend? That was like kind of sort of Judge Dredd, but like an off-brand version, or was like didn't they straight have like Judge Dredd like as a model at some point? I feel like I remember that.
This is going swimmingly. He's still in it. He's still in the book.
That's great. Hell yeah.
Excellent. Let's grow deep yellow.
Oh, I'd love to do Battle in the Underhive with just straight up flintlock pistols. That sounds pretty great.
Excellent. Okay, I think this is just about done here. I think I'm going to pass on. Well, maybe do a slight blue wash in these recesses because it needs something. Otherwise, these folds just look weird. But I don't think I want to add any more colors. I think it's good. Do need something out here, though. I think I'm going to break out the Screamer Pink. Oh, where is it? Too far away. You know, I think I'm making good progress with the 00 here.
so glad I didn't have that other cup of coffee or my hands would be shaking so badly.
Ah, damn it. I still messed that up.
Come on, come on, come on. You're not dry yet. Don't lie to me. That'll do.
There we go. Yeah, I will admit, I'm not a fan of streaming generally, but it is nice.
It is nice having somebody else here, like, live while I'm painting. That is kind of cool. Ooh, that was way too much paint. This is actually pretty relaxing compared to trying to make, like, highly edited videos every day. You can see why a lot of people who start out there end up in streaming. But I gotta figure out, I just do still want to make videos. Gotta figure out what the next one's gonna be on. We'll see. I definitely need a break from political content. It is too much recently, too much. Not that politics is bad, but
Too much recently. Yeah, that's good. That's coming together too. I don't know what I want to do with this lettering though. Have to figure it out. Oof.
you are not wrong. The world is just insane. See the comments on that Kamala video? My god. Ugh. Well, see how that election goes. But this stream is not for politics. This is about hobbying. I think I need a more concentrated pink color. I'd like to have one of those. I feel like that's the color, weirdly enough, that I've been like missing. Every time I do a couple of projects, I'll like come out of like, oh, there was like one color that I feel like I could have used. And weirdly enough, it's been pink recently. Cause I think it's just because I've been using a lot of like reds. Maybe. I don't know. Screamer pink is nice, but it's not like...
Screamer pink isn't like pink pink? Did you have to go to like a weird place to try to get like a...
To get a new charger for it, or were you able to find one like on Amazon or somewhere straightforward? Or Newegg?
Or are they still compatible with like current Nintendo
products? I guess I wouldn't really know.
Well, actually... Nice. I guess now what's funny about it is that now Nintendo products, much like Apple, are ending up just going back to USB-C. That's what the Switch uses.
Hilariously.
You know, for a while I had a what was it? I got this device out of Hong Kong that was really, really good that I could just straight, download I could just straight run an emulator on it. It just like ran Android. And it worked really well. It was like a GB something, I forget. But forget about the specific one. There's plenty of like third-party devices you can just run emulators on. Although I guess at that point, you can also just run an emulator on your phone and get a controller for it. Or like a little like a what would it be? Like a holder thing, that you can put around your phone and has like knobs and stuff and buttons. They have a couple of those. You can probably find one on Amazon and then just run like a GBA emulator just that you download straight from the App Store. Because there's plenty of them in the Google Play Store. I don't know if Apple still has them though. I think they started cracking down, but I know you can still get some really, really good emulators just straight from the Google Play Store for like $6. I remember I used to work night shift at a hotel, and when I was doing that, I would straight just bring my Kindle into work, and I had downloaded an emulator on that, and I just had like a little Bluetooth controller, so I was just straight behind the desk playing Banjo-Kazooie with like a third-party Bluetooth controller on my Kindle, running a Nintendo N64 emulator. And then, just as soon as a customer walked up, just throw it in the, fold it up, throw it in the drawer real fast, took 2 seconds, like, hey, how can I help you? Love that. Kind of miss that job sometimes. Okay, I will warn you now, I know nothing about Pokemon. You want to tell me all about it? Please, feel free. But I will know absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, I grew up in a strict Christian household where Pokemon was, and I quote, of the devil. Not a joke, not an exaggeration. Obviously, I don't believe that now, but yeah. Never was really given the chance to get into the franchise. Oh yeah, that Screamer Pink was a good choice. Looks leathery. Very nice.
Very happy with that. I'm glad you're here. I think I'm doing my best work with an audience. So thank you. It's much appreciated. It's good to hang out.
$13. Yeah, that's about when most of my friends who are into Pokemon got into Pokemon.
Very happy with that. Very happy with that. There we go. Yeah, jailbroken Nintendo products are the best Nintendo products. That company's way too tight-fisted.
Ooh, you know what? I actually give me your 2 cents on this. This is actually a video topic I was thinking about. One interesting thing I find with Nintendo products is like if they the funny thing is they have been so tight-fisted with their own products and especially their games for so long that they basically can't re-release a lot of their own games. Like even if they wanted to re-release a lot of like the old N64 titles and whatnot, they would basically be competing with teams of emulators who have been like doing this for like 20 years consistently. Like so basically Nintendo has been so tight-fisted about their own franchise that it's really really interesting like I don't know, expression of the market, something like that. How like they because they haven't released their own games, if they wanted to release them now, they would have to compete with these free products. Like they'd have to compete with Dolphin, they'd have to compete with Moopin 64, and it's actually screwed over Nintendo that they did that. I find that to be an interesting within capitalist ideology. That sounds way more technical than I want it to, but like, right? Yeah, like it's so interesting how like the market sort of moved on without them. Even despite all the copyright stuff, the market just moved on without Nintendo. That's hilarious. I love that. I mean, not that like not that it's good for Nintendo, but it's hilarious how that ended up that way. Like they can't. Like I remember with Sony had that issue when they did that release of the that really cheap little PlayStation thing that they tried to release a couple years back. That ended up being absolutely terrible. And like that was terrible for a lot of reasons, and I think they outsourced it anyway. But what was funny was that like the thing that everyone was comparing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they
like everyone was comparing this crappy little Sony product to, you know, the currently available uh, PlayStation emulators, and the machine that they released got crushed because it couldn't compete with free products that had existed for years. I just find that to be such an interesting expression of market forces. One that we don't really talk about in those technical terms as much. I feel like there's just not a lot of channels covering stuff like that, like in that technical way, you know. I just find that so interesting. PS Vita. I like the PS Vita was its own monster of issues. The PS Vita was an issue with video games. Okay. Oh, my lights are starting to die. I think we're gonna have to wrap up here soon. Oh my god, almost made it to 3 hours. Yeah. I think. Oh, this turned out so well. Okay, so I still want to do the sword. I think I'm gonna do that one in a little bit here. I'm gonna wrap up here soon. Do the sword later. Before that we go off here, I do want to finish up the armor real fast. I'm gonna do a couple of things. So these pauldrons are the ones that I did in cork brown, and I want to add some of those flat flesh highlights like I did for the fire blue Stormcast. Let's see how they turn out. Who knew flat flesh was so versatile? For everything except for actual skin. Still want to put a little bit of white on the teeth, but I'll do that later. Excellent. Oh, I'm happy to. I'm glad to have people like bounce ideas off of. Those fire blue Stormcast were great. I thought about doing this guy in the same style, but I already have another hero who's who actually does wield a hammer and has a much more similar aesthetic to them. So I'm probably going to do him. I think it's going to be. I got to do the video on the Killaboss here. Obviously, he's got to be next because he's already finished. Just got to get the video made. So I'm probably going to get up and film that tomorrow. I got to put out job applications too, man. I hate job hunting. But I got to get that done. You know, for the sake of not being homeless and whatnot. And I'm going to get up tomorrow. And once I've got a couple of those out, film. Script is just about done. And I haven't been scripting my videos as much recently. It seems to be working out pretty well. So I'm not too worried about that. But I'll get that filmed tomorrow and probably have the video out on that this weekend. Then I want to do the trial by trolleys. Oh, you're job hunting too? I'm sorry. It's awful out there right now, man. It's terrible. I'm sorry you're going through it too. Awful. It's awful. Job market is just terrible. Part of why I'm pushing so hard on YouTube. If I can just monetize my channel and hopefully get a little bit of attention without YouTube continuing to throttle my stuff because I'm still not monetized. Which is hilarious because I have to still watch ads when I go to rewatch my stuff on the YouTube app because I would never ever use ad block. Shh. Yeah, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. That's awful. That's man. At least I know. Like I got angry and quit because I got sick of being crapped on by terrible customers. But at least in that case, I felt like it was on my own terms, man. I'm sorry. That's awful. It's just terrible out there right now. It's just awful. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. That really sucks. Oh. Oh, God. I don't know what's going on with the job market these days. Nothing makes any sense. Nothing makes even the tiniest amount of sense. It's all ridiculous. Oh, well, there was one more thing I wanted to finish on this. I don't remember what it was. The sword I'm not doing right now because I don't even know how I want to do that. Yeah, I got a lot of friends who are worried about their jobs right now. Actually, I'm going to do the... Oop, don't drop it. I'll do the emerald for his gem here. Yeah, I got a lot of friends who are either on thin ice or worried about something happening. Here in Illinois, Pritzker is announcing all kinds of new programs and whatnot. I think he knows something's coming. The economy's not looking so great 5 years out. That's part of why I don't like Trump. I am going to get political here for the last 5 minutes, but I don't like Trump, but I trust him to run the economy during a recession more than Kamala. I'll say that. And that is it. That is the only political speak I'm going to put in this. But I'm worried, man. I'm worried where we're headed right now. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see where we go. Oh, that turned out so well. I think I'm going to do some London Gray in a couple of places for some of those other details. But I'll do that when I do the actual rod. Then... Oh, right. This is the other thing I wanted to get with the emerald. There's literally so many colors on my palette that I can't find which color is still wet. Oh, wait, one sec. Did you put it in the chat? I'm not seeing it, but I'm also still in OBS. Let me see here. YouTube, whatever. Oh, the profile. Sorry, I completely spaced on what you were talking about. Yes, it's cool. I love the helmet. Very nice. It's different from your Reddit one, though, or did you change it? Although I guess everyone on Reddit kind of uses the weird chibi figures these days.
thought about doing like graphic design or something like that if you like to draw?
I know it's kind of a cliche these days to
like monetize your hobbies.
but you thought about doing something like that? Really? Hmm. Okay. At this point, I think I'm going to wrap up. And I think you got here after I had already started these guys. But quick update on where these guys ended up. Oh, nice. All right, I think I'm wrapping it up here. 3 hours is going to be enough. I'll see you later. All right, keep your head up. I'm sorry about the job situation. That sucks. That really sucks. Best of luck, man. I'll see you later.